Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Zen.
Pathetic.
Uh yeah. I mean, look. As you guys know, like it's something that is bigger than one club, one team, one incident, one situation. It's a bigger, like Ali said, it's a bigger picture here. Where, like, if let's say the refereeing that Champions League game, they know that if they don't do as they're told, they're gonna get relegated to Europa League. If they don't do that,
Yeah.
they're gonna relegated to not refereeing Europe. So for him, for that individual or that team of referees, they're like, oh, we've done so much, we've sacrificed so much to get to this position. We will do as we're told, because if we don't do it, somebody else will. So referees, even if, let's say there's a referee who wants to speak up or wants to do something, they don't, because they're obviously, they don't want to impact their careers in this sense.
Yeah, but what do
A
we
quick
do about?
fix.
What do we do
Well,
about?
a quick fix for me is to have referees give post-match interviews, explain certain decisions to the media, explain certain things. And I'm telling you, if the right journalists are there bashing referees after every game, one of them will break and will come up with, like, the reason we can now talk about issues at the board of Man United or players or managers is because managers do have to say stuff after games, and then the certain managers are better at responding to questions, but others might just say it. My board is shite, and they're not giving me anything, and
But I
then that
don't.
becomes a story. Because right
I
now
agree.
the direction is corruption, is fraud. It went from sportsmanship to gamesmanship to now cheating, blatant cheating, as you mentioned, and
Bro,
we've got to move on from that.
I agree, right? I agree. Like what you're saying. I don't know if you heard us because you got cut off. But I was saying to Khalid that when they do the VAR decisions, I agree. Like Richard Keys was saying on BN, he's saying, why can't we hear the conversation that they're having? In other sports, you can hear it.
Oh yeah,
Cricket, rugby.
rugby.
Even though a lot of these sports, especially cricket, is the most rigged joke of a sport. It's not even a sport. It is WWE. Okay, but even still, because they have other means of rigging, they allow you to hear the conversation, and they don't do
Yeah,
it in that way. But I mean to say that, like in football, like why can't you hear the conversation? Because they know that they would be so embarrassing. Like how imagine the conversation when they're reviewing Harry Maguire with his arm around Azpilicueta giving him a headlock. Like what would they say? Yeah, he's got his arm around his neck. He looks he's about to tap out Azpilicueta, but
it's
we're
just he's
not.
just marking him. He's just
Yeah,
marking
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. Let's not give this one. There's no way they could get away with
He's
it.
not tapped
So,
out yet.
yeah, exactly. So it's like what you're saying. It's like what you're saying that they should answer, but actually after games they do give answers. They do say like the reason why this was. They give reasons. That's not good enough. I want to hear them doing their decisions so that they can't keep like just like and helplessly get away with it. You know what we should do? We should start a website where we watch games. Watch along games or whatever, right? Or like when these key decisions are made, you put like a voting poll and you put something up which says penalty, no penalty, so people can decide what they think. And let's see how often 99.9% of the people can see something which these professional referees supposedly can't because of incompetence. It's not incompetence. They're not idiots. Do you know what I mean? They are cheating. They are managing games the way that they want it to be managed. That's what's happening. What reason? I don't know. I don't care. I don't need to come up with a reason. All I know is there's no way that this is happening because of like, oh, they're not sure about the rules, or oh, they've accidentally put this little tricky rule in. Go yourself. Do you know what I mean? Stop treating the people like idiots and just be real. Say this is WWE. I feel sorry for the football players, like big time. Man, imagine now your son, you all the effort you put in and all the effort he puts in, and he becomes a professional football player, and then you have to watch him like go and lose in a big final or in any game, like fighting for the league, which he's dedicated his life, and the entertainment to his fans, because like Mike Riley and his gang decide that they want to give a penalty which isn't a penalty. They have the ability to decide football matches. They have the ability to ruin people's lives. Why are we giving them that ability? Like, why? Let's fucking boycott. Let's boycott the league for a week, hit them financially, let them realize we're not going to watch games where they're rigging it. Do you know what I mean? It's pathetic, man. It's boring. If I wanted to watch fake sports, I'll watch WWE. I'm like actually pissed.
They're already mic'd up during the game, just like rugby, like you said. Get them on. Explain the decision. At least the referee.
I want to hear what the guy is saying in his ear. I want the guy.
What he's saying in his ear, and what the referee then says to the players after that.
Like, what difference does it make if someone the media is trying to. The media, obviously, on some level, is involved because they're trying to con the public into thinking like, you know what we need? We need the referee to go to the screen and he make the decisions. So he can go like this, you know? He can go like this and go to decision and make a decision. Like, what good does that do? It's just slowing down the game.
And make us all wait 4 minutes.
Exactly. I actually preferred when they just did it from Stockley Park and they made a crap decision. At least they get it done quicker. You know what I mean? Rather than this guy going, let's run across and let's look at a really skewed version of the replay, which has taken them that much time to prepare, you know, where like they'll omit, you know, look, bro, you could have a guy shove a guy with two hands in which he falls into another guy and headbutts him, and they'll find a way to send off the guy that's headbutted the other guy, even though it's not his fault. That's the level of that they do. That's what happened in the Chelsea game. You can block a ball with your foot, and it can ricochet up and hit your arm at 100 miles an hour, no way near the goal, and they can say he's blocked the ball with his arm by omitting the part of the replay where it hits his foot and just showing the part where it hits his arm. So what difference does it make if someone comes and does that? I don't care. You know what I mean? It's on video. Why does it need this guy to go look at it? Why? Cheat. They're cheating. It's corruption. Call it out. Spread the word.
Ghad is very aware of that form of corruption because he does it week in, week out on this podcast. So,
exactly. Who knows what's going to come out? Who knows what's coming out? The other day, he made it look like I was saying that Solskjaer was like Alex Ferguson. And he made it seem that I was saying...
he knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
He is a Mike Riley just sat there laughing.
He's the Stockley Park of football.